Before we get into Mark's emotional reaction, it's important to remember why this couple captured so many hearts in the first place. Mark Consuelos wasn't just another television personality. He was the charming, grounded presence who brought warmth to every role he played. But when he met Kelly Ripa, everything changed. Kelly wasn't simply a co-star. She was a spark that would redefine his life. Bright, ambitious, and unapologetically real, Kelly Ripa had already built a name for herself on daytime television, but her partnership with Mark transformed both their lives. Together, they built a love story that seemed to defy Hollywood odds. They balanced the chaos of fame with family, raising 3 beautiful children while maintaining careers that constantly pulled them in different directions. To fans, they represented the best of both worlds: love, laughter, and the ability to make it all look effortless. But as we've seen time and again, the lives that appear most perfect on camera often conceal quiet storms behind the scenes. Over the past several months, friends close to the couple began noticing subtle changes, small cracks in the perfect image they'd spent decades building together. Mark, once known for his upbeat, easygoing nature, began withdrawing from social events. Meanwhile, Kelly seemed more focused than ever on her career, often taking on multiple projects at once, from hosting Live with Kelly and Mark to producing behind the scenes. Insiders say the growing distance between them began to take an emotional toll. They weren't fighting, not in the explosive, dramatic way tabloids love to exaggerate, but emotionally they were drifting. One friend close to the couple said they were living parallel lives, together but apart. Kelly was chasing deadlines. Mark was chasing connection. Somewhere along the way, they stopped meeting in the middle. Sources say that arguments over priorities, work versus family, privacy versus public life, began to surface more frequently. Mark, who has always been deeply family-oriented, reportedly began feeling like their shared time had become a luxury instead of a norm. Kelly, on the other hand, felt that Mark didn't fully grasp the demands of maintaining a daily talk show and the business empire that comes with it. It wasn't about blame, it was about balance, and slowly that balance began to slip away. When Kelly reportedly told Mark that she needed space to breathe, it wasn't out of anger, it was out of emotional exhaustion. For a man like Mark, who wears his heart on his sleeve and has always viewed his marriage as his greatest success, the moment hit hard. Those close to him said he was completely blindsided. According to one insider, he thought they were just in a busy season, that once things slowed down, they'd find their rhythm again. He never imagined she'd step back emotionally. Sources say Mark immediately reached out to Kelly, desperate to understand what was happening. When they finally sat down to talk, it wasn't a confrontation, it was heartbreak. Kelly reportedly told him in her calm and collected way that she still loved him deeply, but felt they'd lost the connection that once made them inseparable. She told him she felt like they were living side by side, but not together anymore, a family friend revealed, and that scared him more than anything. For Mark, who has spent more than half his life loving Kelly, this revelation was devastating. He wasn't angry, just heartbroken. Friends describe him as quiet, reflective, and deeply emotional in the days that followed. He reportedly spent more time at their home upstate, away from the city lights and cameras, taking long walks, journaling, and avoiding public appearances. Those who know him best say it's the first time in years he's truly stopped to think about his own needs and about what it really means to hold on to love when it starts to change shape. He's not the kind of man who gives up easily, a close friend shared. Mark believes in fighting for his marriage, for his family, but he's also realizing that sometimes love isn't about holding tighter, it's about learning when to let go and listen. Interestingly, those close to Kelly say her decision to step back wasn't made in haste. She had been wrestling with it for months, torn between her devotion to Mark and her desire to protect her sense of self. She adores Mark, one insider explained. She always will. But she's been feeling stretched thin by the show, by the attention, by the pressure to always be the one holding everything together. Kelly has always been known for her strength, for her ability to make people laugh even when her own heart is heavy. but those closest to her say this period has been one of quiet reckoning. She's tired, she has said softly. She wants to slow down, to be present, to find the joy in simplicity again. It's not a story of anger, betrayal, or loss. It's a story of two people who love each other deeply, but who are realizing that love alone can't always carry the weight of everything else. For decades, Mark and Kelly have been the model of a modern marriage in the spotlight. Messy, real, but built on unshakable commitment. Now they're facing what may be their greatest test, finding their way back to each other through honesty, vulnerability, and patience. Insiders say that lately, Mark has been more reflective than ever. He's been spending time with close friends, talking about how quickly life passes and how easy it is to lose sight of what truly matters. Mark's not angry, one friend said. He's grateful that Kelly was honest, grateful that they still have a chance to rebuild. He knows this isn't the end. It's just a chapter they have to write together differently this time. At a recent charity event in New York, the couple made their first public appearance since the reports began circulating. They walked in quietly, hand in hand. No press statements, no forced smiles, just presence. When Mark was asked by a reporter how they were doing, he paused, looked over at Kelly, and simply said, "We're taking things one day at a time. That's what love is, showing up even when it's hard." It was a simple answer, but it spoke volumes. The room fell silent, and those who witnessed it said the emotion between them was unmistakable. The tenderness, the gratitude, and the quiet understanding that after all these years, they still choose each other. Whether this marks a new beginning for Mark and Kelly or a period of reflection before something changes, one thing remains certain: their love continues to inspire. It reminds us that no relationship, no matter how glamorous or seemingly perfect, is immune to life's challenges. Love, at its core, isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. And perhaps that's what makes their story so powerful. After decades together, countless ups and downs, and the ever-present glare of fame, Mark and Kelly Consuelos are still writing their story. Not for the cameras, but for each other. As one longtime friend put it beautifully, they've been through storms before, but every time they find their way back. That's who they are. Two people who refuse to stop believing in love. So, what do you think of Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos' emotional turning point? Do you believe this is the start of a new chapter or a pause before renewal? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up for more heartfelt stories that remind us of what really matters: love, family, and the courage to keep showing up for both.